All right, let's talk about Blake, Blake Martinez. New addition to the New York Giants. He was a free agent that came over. He's 6'2", 237 pounds, 26 years old. He was picked in round 4, pick 131. Justin, he signed with the Giants on a 3-year, $30 million deal. But there is an out after 2021 where there'd only be $2 million in dead cap. So in reality, it's more like a 2-year deal. Justin, what do you got on this cat?
Bobby, did you know that Blake Martinez has a home gym that he built with his father?
He built it with his father, really?
Yeah.
That's
you didn't
crazy.
Know that?
I mean, I had like 19 people write a story about it, and like the Giants did like 20 videos on it. But it did refresh my memory. I completely forgot that he had his own gym.
Can't believe that went in one ear and out the other. Can't believe that.
Blake Martinez looks like a guy who would own his own gym. I mean, he definitely looks the role of like linebacker.
He's a good-looking man.
Yeah, he looks like a linebacker. He's just got kind of like that meathead look, the shoulders that go with it. He looks like a meathead.
He needs a beard.
And for someone who's Hispanic, he doesn't look it either.
Oh, that is true. This is
true.
He
doesn't. He's very pale. But I guess that happens when you live in Green Bay. So, and New York probably won't help a ton. All right, let's talk about him. Justin, in 2019, he had 155 tackles, 97 of which were solo, 5 tackles for a loss, 3 sacks, and an interception. Justin, he was top 2 in total tackles the last 3 years. He was top 7 in solo tackles the last 3 years. So, in 2018, he had 144 tackles, 91 solo, 10 tackles for a loss, 5 sacks. The year before, 96 solo tackles, another 10 tackles for a loss, and only 1 sack. Justin, he's a productive player. A lot of people have a lot of different opinions on him. I'll start with, I didn't really like the signing of Blake Martinez. I think he's a good linebacker. But I think linebacker, people talk about the devaluing of the running back spot. I think inside linebacker is in a weird position where the elite guys make a huge difference. But they also end up retiring early, which is interesting. Patrick Willis's, Luke Kuechly, like the elite guys end up retiring early. But the elite guys make a total difference. But I feel like the middle ground at inside linebacker, there's not the biggest difference in the world. Because a lot of linebackers are not great in zone coverage. They don't have the instincts. And Blake Martinez isn't he's not bad what people make him out to be, but he's certainly not like great in zone coverage.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why you're seeing linebackers are coming off the field on passing downs, and you're having safeties. Physical safeties like Jabril Peppers, even safeties like Julian Love, who took Jabril Peppers' place last year. Xavier McKinney, this is why I feel like we drafted him. So interior linebackers can come off the field on second and third down. Granted, I don't think Blake Martinez is going to be coming off the field at all. Actually, his last 2 years, Bobby, and this is, again, a staple of Dave Gettleman, since he got here, was signing guys for better or for worse, signing, trading, drafting guys that are on the football field, and the best ability is availability. Blake Martinez's snap share the last 2 years have been 99%. I'm with you I at first hated the signing. Like, I hated it. Like, I literally tweeted out, this is the one guy I don't want. I was kind of on the Jamie Collins train, very athletic linebacker out of New England. I think he went to Detroit. Not sure. Bad podcasting if I got it. Oh, good for me. Very athletic. A little bit older, but he would have been cheaper. But is he the captain? Is he the captain, the middle linebacker that you want out of your defense? Probably not. Blake Martinez fills that. Again, volume stats. I'm not the biggest fan of just looking solely at volume stats, but you can't deny somebody that makes as many tackles as he does. If you watch the 49ers game last year, Bobby, you're saying, I hate this guy, and you're slamming your head against the wall. If you watch the Vikings game, you're saying, wow, this guy's really good, and you're really excited. So
when I watched the 49ers game, I hated the Packers defensive coordinators. Like, this team is running 2 tight ends, a fullback, running it down your throat, and you won't put, like, they were literally not putting another linebacker out there besides Martinez. They had 3 safeties on the field.
Patrick
like, they
Graham
are destroying you like that. Hopefully not against the 49ers, okay? Maybe the 49ers, we could get a little heavier out there. But I think Martinez will thrive behind this defensive line in the run game, and people bring up, like, well, some of the tackles are downfield. Yeah, that's going to happen when you have 150 freaking tackles in a year. They're not all going to be stops at the line of scrimmage. Like, sorry, that's not real life. but he's extremely smart. He knows where to line guys up. He knows how to play the right gap, and at times he plays like that downhill aggressive style. And I think he plays it at the right times. Like Minnesota was the game I went to go look at when Blake Martinez. That's the first game I want to see.
Same here.
They have that play action set up. They run that outside zone. They've got the wide receivers on the back end. And I thought it was extremely impressive because he played aggressive. He played strong to the hole. He went at, and he had like a lot of, like his best run stuffing game, I think, was that Minnesota game, at least out of the 5 or so games I watched of him. So I was impressed with that. And you mentioned the 49ers game. He actually said, like, I kind of was left out to dry sometimes in that Packers scheme, and the 49ers game was a perfect example of that. So run game, listen, he's not Ray Lewis. He's not going to be like a guy who's just going to be like out there making insane plays, but he's solid. He's a solid player in the run. He's a good player in the run, I should say that.
Yeah, I think of this signing more macro and kind of compare it to Nate Solder, and hear me out here, except it's on a much smaller scale.
Don't do that.
No, but in a way, this is a price that we have to pay, literally, by signing to a somewhat big contract, a price that we have to pay for not being able to find an inside linebacker or a middle linebacker since Antonio Pierce. This is the price that we have to pay to go out and sign somebody who is average, who I actually don't think the contract is that bad, especially when you consider it's a 2-year deal. Again, Giants were smart this free agency. Bobby's not going to be perfect, but also, is he going to be better than Alec Ogletree? Is he going to be better than Keenan Robinson? Is he going to be better than Jonathan Casillas? Is he going to be better than insert inside linebacker that hasn't worked here since Antonio Pierce?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Let's talk about his coverage a little bit. When he doesn't, like, his 40 time was bad in the combine. I think it was like a 4.7. When you put him in man coverage against a running back, he does really well. He knows, like, it's just part of it is just diagnosing a play, and he knows how to do that. So that's fine. They really didn't put him on man versus a tight end at all, and that was part of the Packers playing a safety down a lot. So that Adrian Amos was covering those guys. And then in zone, there's plays where he like flashes brilliance. And then there's plays where they're throwing the ball right over his head.
Yeah, I think you could say the same for both him in the running game and him in the passing game. There will be plays where, wow, Blake Martinez made a good play there, and you'll take it because that's something that Alec Ogletree never gave you. And then there are going to be plays where you're going to be really, again, banging your head against the wall and saying, why did Blake Martinez do that?
Here's where I get excited, though. Green Bay said his best year was 2018, and that was with linebacker coach Patrick Graham. Mm-hmm. He had 5 sacks that year. He had 10 tackles for a loss. And here's something Blake Martinez is good at. He's a good A-gap over the center blitzer. He's not like I said, he's not Ray Lewis, but he's a pretty solid blitzer. He can at least get some penetration in the pocket, and he had 5 sacks that year. And Patrick Graham, like everyone said that was his best year, and Patrick Graham was his linebacker coach. Patrick Graham likes to line the linebackers up in that spot, especially on a third down where a linebacker who isn't great in zone could get us in trouble. He would line him up there and blitz him. So that's what I like, and that's something I begged out of James Betcher. It's like, listen, I get we don't have the greatest guys on the back end, but when you have Alec Ogletree and David Mayo playing inside linebacker and you don't blitz, well, that's a QB's dream on third down because they're just going to wait for someone to go over him, wait for one of those guys to make the wrong decision and do it. So I also, as much as like the zone coverage stuff isn't like you don't get excited for it, hopefully Graham uses him in the right way in those situations. I'm not saying you could blitz him every time, but hopefully they use him in the right ways.
I had the same argument with Alec Ogletree, where actually the one part of his game that he was somewhat adequate in was his advanced numbers when it comes to when he's blitzing the quarterback. Now, in 2018, I find this to be very, very interesting. Now, Graham was the linebacker coach in 2018. He wasn't the defensive coordinator, so I'm wondering why there was such a vast change from 2018 to 2019, probably because of the arrival of the 2 Smiths. But Blake Martinez blitzed 61 times in 2018, according to Pro Football Reference, and 2019 he blitzed 24 times. That's 33%. That's a 2/3 difference right there. Now 5 sacks 2018, 3 sacks 2019. But That's a big difference. He had 5 hurries, 1 quarterback knockdown 2018, 2 hurries, 0 quarterback knockdowns in 2019. But look at the sacks. The sacks, two sacks are significant, right? We won't make a big deal out of it, but he can do it. He can do it. He's somewhat effective in it. And especially if your biggest strength isn't your coverage, let's send him on blitzes on 3rd down if he has to be on the field.
Yeah, or put him in man coverage on the running back, which he showed very capable of. All right, I mean, do you got anything else on him? We did a deep dive on him in free agency. I feel like I'm good on him.
11 pressures, 2018. That was the thing that I wanted to share. 11 pressures, 2018. So that's cool for an interior linebacker. Not too bad. Bobby, there's going to be some plays this year, and I think this is going to get Giants fans like myself very excited who appreciate good form tackling. That when he's going downhill, again on these outside zone plays, when he's going downhill, he's going to knock somebody's block off. He's not hesitant, and he's going to wrap up. He's going to bite the ball, and he's going to drive a guy to the ground, and it's going to look good. So those plays when he can get momentum, and we talk about offensive players that are going downhill, how they look good. We talk about Brandon Jacobs. When he starts going downhill, he can lay a licking on somebody. Blake Martinez, when he's going downhill, he can lay a licking on some ball carriers. It's going to be fun. Rooting for you, Blake Martinez. We kind of need you bad, but also hopefully the big hog mollies up front can help you as well.
And one more quick note. Him playing smart, playing gap responsibility, allows Ryan Conley on the back end to fly. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, let's go Big Blue.